Alright, here's part 2 of the Unit 7 review for your test tomorrow. The first question is, what is the measure of each exterior angle of a heptagon? And again, from the last video, each exterior is 360 divided by n. Here, n for a heptagon is 7. So 360 divided by 7 equals 51.43 degrees. Alright, now here's another one. This is a circle, and we're dealing with angles in this one, not segments. This is angles and arcs. Now this angle right here, because the vertex is on the circle, it's an inscribed angle. And the inscribed angle, the angle is equal to half of the arc, or the arc divided by 2. So the angle is equal to the arc divided by 2. So the angle is 58x, it's the value of my angle, equals the arc divided by 2. And the arc is 116. So 116 divided by 2 is 58. So 58x equals 58. Now I divide by 58 both sides so that I can isolate x, and x equals 1. So the value of x in this is 1. Alright, here's another one, the same thing. It's another inscribed angle. So our formula is angle equals arc divided by 2. So my angle is 13x plus 1 equals my arc divided by 2. The arc is 80. So 13x plus 1 equals 40. I subtract 1 from both sides. 13x equals 39. I divide by 13. And x equals 3. Okay, these all pretty much work the same way. If you need to, pause the video. If you need to go back, please do so. And here is another, it's an angle and arc problem. It's not segments, it's angles and arcs. And this is an exterior angle. And our formula for exterior angles is big arc minus small arc divided by 2 equals the angle. So the angle is what we don't know. So the angle is equal to, the big arc is 125 minus the small arc is 41 divided by 2. So 125 minus 41 is equal to 84. And 84 divided by, not 21, divided by 2 is equal to 42 degrees. So my angle is equal to 42 degrees. Here's another exterior angle problem. It's the same. My angle is equal to the big arc minus small arc. Big arc minus small arc divided by 2. So my angle is what I'm trying to find, so I'm going to call that x, equals my big arc is 145 minus the small arc is 75. And we're going to divide all of that by 2. So 145 minus 75 is 70. So x equals 70 divided by 2. And 70 divided by 2 is 35 degrees. Alright, here's another angle and arc problem. We're still not dealing with segments. And this one is a central angle. And for central angles, the angle is equal to the arc. They're the same. So here my angle is 10x minus 5. And my arc is 75. So now all I have to do is solve. I add 5 to both sides. So I get 10x equals 80. Divide by 10 to isolate the x. So x equals 8. Another central angle arc problem. So angle equals arc. So the angle is 132 equals the arc, which is x plus 138. So I draw my line. I want to get the x's by themselves, so I subtract 138 from both sides. 132 minus 138 is negative 6 equals x, and I'm finished. X equals negative 6. Alright, here's another problem, and this is one of the ones that we talked about in class today, where I said that the tangent line and the radius form a 90-degree angle. They're perpendicular. So here is my tangent line. Here is my radius, and those form a 90-degree angle. So what I have is a right triangle, and with a right triangle, if I have two sides and I'm missing one, I can use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for my missing side. So C is my hypotenuse, so this is going to be my C. I'll let this be my A, and I'll let the missing side be B. So A is 7.7 squared plus B squared equals C squared is 8.5 squared. So 7.7 squared is equal to 59.29 plus B squared equals 8.5 squared is 72.25. Now I have to subtract to get my B squared by itself. I subtract 59.29 from both sides. And when I subtract 59.29, I get 12.96 on this side. And what I'm left with on this side is B squared. Now to get rid of the squared, I have to take the square root of both sides. So when I do that, I'm left with B on one side, and on the other side, I have 3.6. The square root of 12.96 is 3.6. Is the same type of problem. Again, we have our tangent line and we have our radius, and those intersect to form a right angle. So here's C, here's A, and here's B. So we have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So A we don't know still. B is 6.4 squared equals C squared is 13.6 squared. So 6.4 squared is 40.96. 13.6 squared is 184.96. Now I solve by subtracting 40.96 from both sides. And I'm left with A squared equals 144. Take the square root of both sides to get rid of the squared, and A is equal to 12. Alright, this is a segment issue. This is a segment problem. Notice we're not dealing with angles and arcs, we're dealing with the length of segments. And because this is two secants that intersect inside the circle, my formula for this is intersect inside. My formula is PP equals PP. Part times part equals part times part. So if I look here, I have one part here of 18, and the other part of that line is X equals, I have part here of 15, and the other part of that same line is 12. So I get 18x equals 15 times 12, which is 180. Then I divide by 18, and I get x equals 10. Here's a problem again with segments, except this is a tangent and a secant that intersect outside the circle. And my formula for that is PP equals PW. So I need to look, here's my part that's PP because that's my tangent line, so that's 15 times 15 equals, now the part of this one is 9, and then this whole thing is 9 plus x. So this right here plus this right here gives me the whole thing. So 9 times 9 plus x for the whole thing. So now 15 times 15 is 225. 9 times 9 is 81. And 9 times x is 9x. Draw my line. I subtract 81 from both sides. And I get 144 equals 9x. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 9 to get x by itself, and I get x equals 16. Alright, here's another one where we're dealing with segments, except this is two secants intersecting outside the circle. So my formula for these is part times whole equals part times whole, or PW equals PW. So I look at my first segment, and my part is 8, and then the whole thing is this part plus this part, so x plus 8 equals, and now on this side, this is my part, which is 9, and then the whole thing is this part plus this part. So 9 plus 15, which is 24. So over here I have 8 times x is 8x. 8 times 8 is 64. Equals 9 times 24 is 216. Now I'm going to subtract 64 from both sides. And I'm left with 8x on this side equals 152 on the other side. Divide both sides by 8. And I get 19 for the value of x. And the last problem on our review is again two secants that intersect inside the circle. So our formula is PP equals PP. So we start here, we have 6 as one part, x as the other, equals 9 for that part, times 4 for the other. So we get 6x equals 36. 9 times 4 is 36. We divide by 6, and x equals 6. That's the end of the review. Remember, if you bring me this review worked out, that means you've copied the problems down, you've shown all your work, you show me that you actually watched the video and paid attention, then I'll give you bonus points on your test. See y'all in the morning.